And with that, I will share the rest of my time with Mr. Lawrence.
Mr. Lawrence, you have 4 minutes remaining on the clock, please.
Thank you. And it's a pleasure to be back here at Public Accounts. Pleasure to see you again, Ms. Hogan. And my questions will focus, will be directed towards you. So thank you for your work with respect to the ArriveCAN application. I think a well-written, well-done report. We are here today to discuss the public accounts, but in sort of the broader context of that, after seeing what you saw in the ArriveCAN review and audit, in which I believe, if I'm not misquoting, you said it was some of the worst bookkeeping you've ever seen in your career, are you concerned that that might exist in other departments where if we take a deeper look into it, and because it certainly gives me pause as to what else is going out in other government departments?
So I agree that it's actually given me, it's caused me to reflect on bookkeeping in more general across the public service. But for several years, I have been involved, even before I was Auditor General, with the audit of the Government of Canada's financial statements. And we spend a large amount of time in many of the very large, significant departments. And bookkeeping and record keeping is well done. There are thousands of employees across the public service who contribute to the public accounts of Canada, and it is usually very well done. And one of the comments I did make around ArriveCAN is that it was a bit of a head scratcher for me as to why this all happened. I believe part of the pandemic contributed to it, the need to move quickly to support Canadians. The flexibility that the Secretary of the Treasury Board afforded the public service. However, I think what was forgotten was that it came with a reminder that public servants should demonstrate due diligence and document their decisions, and that's really what fell through here during the ArriveCAN development and implementation. Thank
you, Ms. Hogan. My concern is that if, and maybe you can rebut this, and that's fair, but for the audit that was requested by the Conservative Party, of which your department willfully obliged, we may not have ever become aware of the missing, of the terrible bookkeeping, and I'm using that very kindly, I think, and diplomatically. It could be far worse, and I think many commentators have pointed to that. So how can you say, with respect, Ms. Hogan, with any type of confidence, that this isn't going on in other government departments?
I'm not sure I said that I felt confident it wasn't happening in other departments. I felt that in the past what I have seen has been public servants who really care about making sure the books and records of Canada are well maintained. This is a situation that I have not encountered before, to see such a glaring disregard for what I think are some of the most basic elements that you would see in record keeping, in project management. There were failures at so many levels during the ArriveCAN that I think every layer of management within the Canada Border Service Agency should feel responsible and figure out what happened. I just caution that we shouldn't add more rules to complicate things as we try to address the weaknesses and the failures that we found in ArriveCAN.
With those comments, we need to hold those who are accountable. With your considerable experience and expertise, is there any advice you could offer to this committee in sussing out, if there is any? And I agree with you. I think the vast majority of public servants are doing a great job and working. But if there's one more ArriveCAN out there, that's one more too many.
Your question, please.
What advice would you offer this committee?
Well, I think the committee is doing it's what it's meant to do. It's trying to figure out what happened and what went wrong, and then how can the public service do better. I think that's one of the amazing things about the federal public service here in Canada, that accountability and transparency are always at the forefront, even when something goes wrong, so that we can all find a solution to move forward. So I think the committee has spent a lot of time studying this, and hopefully will conclude with a report that will provide good recommendations to the government.
Thank you very much.